Good evening. Honorable City Council members, Mayor, Madam Treasurer, our Deputy Clerk, our City Attorney, Chief of Staff, Administrative Staff, the audience in attendance, and for those who are viewing tonight's broadcast via our YouTube Live and our broadcast channel. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Monday, September 12th, 2023. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card, which is located on the back table, and hand it to the Deputy Clerk. And at this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo. Here. Councilman Barton.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
We know that Councilwoman Webb is excused.
Excused.
And then Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum. Tonight's regular council meeting is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. 9, unfinished business. 10, new business. 11, warrant. 12, communication. And number 13, adjournment. And a motion will be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
What, did you say the 12th or the 11th?
You're right. Correction. Today is Monday, September the 11th. It says the 12th on my note, so I
Okay.
apologize. You're absolutely right. September the 11th.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. That motion is approved.
Thank you. Number 2 are the minutes. Agenda item 2A. For approval are the minutes from the regular meeting held on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr.
I'm
Wadsworth.
going to move that we approve, the regular meeting that was held on Tuesday, September the 5th of 2023.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the regular meeting held on Tuesday, September the 5th at 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Agenda item 2B. For approval are the minutes from the special meeting study session held on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023 at 6:45 p.m. to discuss a ballot proposal to amend Chapter 6, Section 6.4 of the Romulus City Charter.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion for approval of the minutes from the special meeting study session held on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of the minutes from our special meeting study session held on Tuesday, September 5th, 6:45, to discuss the ballot proposal to amend Chapter 6, Section 6.4 of the Romulus City Charter. Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you. There are no petitioners on the agenda tonight. Takes us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Y'all know, the clerk said, I'm going to be a little different tonight because my Lions won. And everybody knows, I'm a big fan of the Lions. First of all, we had a meeting at 6:45, a study session with our treasurer, Stacy Page, for our quarterly investment report. And I'd like to say, Ms. Page, thank you for a good job you've been doing for our city.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And now the chairperson wants to recognize Jasmine Dancy to present something for our city of Romulus.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Festival Week.
All right.
We are just a couple of days away. I'm going to switch to the handheld mic. Is this working?
Not as well.
Test, test. Thank you. All right. So first of all, I just hope everyone is as excited as I am because this is our 25th Pumpkin Festival. We have been working many, many months on this. We have such an awesome committee. I don't want to go through the whole list because I know I'll forget somebody, but I do want to just give a special shout outs to my executive committee members. So Vice President is Sean Mullins, and Treasurer and DDA Director is Jerry Freyer. We have our Administrative Secretary, Chandler Bradley. Okay, thank you. And then also a very special Chairperson Emeritus this year is Maria Lambert. So they have really been the core. I'm serving as Chairperson this year. My name's Jasmine Dancy. So thank you guys so much for all of the wonderful volunteers that we've had over the last many months. And we still are in need of volunteers this weekend. So if you're here in the audience or if you're watching from home and you're interested in getting involved, we do still have some slots available that if you're interested in, we'd love to have you come out and help support our community. So in order to celebrate this very exciting week that we have, I have some special goodies. So if you guys could indulge me with some pumpkin swag for all of our electeds, I have special pumpkin hats that I hope you wear over the weekend. And let everyone know that we have exciting things going on here in Romulus. So please put them on.
You get one too, Stacy.
Let's wear them all meeting if you guys want to. We got to let people know we got a festival coming up.
Only you.
So if we do have a 3-day weekend this year, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So please come out. As you know, we have some of our returning favorites. We've got the Parade of Lights on Friday, thanks to the Romulus Rotary Club. We also have special on Saturday. We have our classic car show, a cornhole tournament. Thank you, Tina, for supporting the efforts. Let's see, other special, we've got great things lined up every day of the weekend. We have a full schedule online. You can visit romulusgov.com/pumpkinfestival, or you can check us out on Facebook. You can search for Romulus Pumpkin Festival on Facebook. We have some great digital contests that you can vote for. And yeah, just a lot of great activities. We're so excited, and we're really trying to make this year our most pumpkin-y year yet. So keep an eye out for all of the pumpkin hats and swag that we'll be sharing over the weekend. There's going to be pumpkin painting for kids, great photo opportunities too, so come dressed in your best if you want to go take a look and snap some selfies around the festival grounds. So great music every day, food trucks. We've got over 40 or so vendors that are going to be there, so we're just really excited and hope you guys are too. And yeah, check us out on Facebook. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Jazz. Ms. Williams?
Jasmine, I'm not trying to be defiant, but I'm not going to mess up my hair.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you.
Okay. The chair now is going to recognize Ms. Sonia Civi, Relay for Life. Let's give her a hand. I like her.
All right. Okay. And my beautiful assistant. So this is the first time that I brought you technology, so bear with me here. But at any rate, I wanted to come and kind of give you guys an update. This is our 6th year. We just completed our 6th Relay for Life. It's actually our 7th year, but 20 was online. We all know what happened in 2020. So we don't really count that as an official Relay for Life event. So I'd like to thank the council for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. For those of you who don't know me, although many of you do, for better or for worse, my name is Shona Sylvie Baum, and I've had the honor of being the chairperson for the Romulus Relay for Life since it began. I'm also a lifelong resident of Romulus, and I'm rather fond of our community. I also serve on the Pumpkin Fest Committee, and I work for the Chamber of Commerce. However, so what I'd like to do this evening is I brought a few tokens of our appreciation for some of you folks that were very helpful to us in making sure that the Romulus Relay for Life was successful. So with the assistance of my person who's helping me here, for Ellen Craig Bragg. Ellen every year helps open up our ceremony, and we start our day with a salute to our survivors, and Ellen sings the national anthem, so we have a very official start. We also recognize 2 other council members at the event this year. Kathy Abdo and Tina Talley both came and volunteered as workers. Kathy was in the crazy 50-50 booth all by herself for hours on end, and Tina once again spent the entire 24 hours with us collecting spirit points and doing all the crazy reindeer games that we do throughout the Relay for Life event. So I just want to let you know that I very much appreciate you guys' continued support year after year with our Romulus Relay for Life. You guys are incredible. Is there anyone here from Romulus DDA tonight? I don't think so. Okay. Also, I have a certificate of appreciation for the city of Romulus for allowing us to invade your space, and and most especially, I'd like to say thank you so much, Julie, for all of the red tape that you cut through and all of the headaches that you make go away, because Relay for Life is quite the beast. And Wojo, and well, that's what I call her because I can never pronounce her last name correctly. So she's in my phone as Wojo, and she's always she takes my calls to this day. It's amazing. So thank you, Mary Crate. Thank you, Julie, for all of you guys' support from the City Hall, from the city of Romulus. Okay, so on with the show. I wanted to let you know that I also stopped by the Romulus DPW this morning, and I think I'll get to that in just a minute. Okay. So yeah, I stopped by the Romulus DPW this morning and took them breakfast because they were the MVPs of Romulus Relay for Life in terms of city support this year. After 2 solid days of storm duty, these guys had no sleep, and they still came and they set up our tents and they hung up banners, and they did it with a great attitude. They were absolutely delightful, and we cannot thank them enough. So our Relay for Life 50/50 winner actually donated breakfast, and I took it over to them this morning. It was quite fun.
That was nice.
So a little more about the history of the Romulus Relay for Life. My sister Cindy wished to have Relay for Life come to Romulus, and years ago, 6 years ago actually, I spoke with a different mayor, and he said, let's make it happen. And so we brought it to Romulus, and she was prepared to do so, and then her cancer came back. So when, many of you know this personally, when a loved one who has a terminal diagnosis asks you to do something, it's rather difficult to say no. So that's how I personally became involved with Relay for Life. So this is how we started. Oops, I clicked it. The very first time, all we did was we met out at the historical park, and we kind of gave, at the end of one of your Sounds in Downtown, we kind of gave Romulus a taste of what is Relay for Life, because it's a misnomer. People think that it's a race or a walk or whatever. It's more like a family community festival. So we introduced it to the community, and then we began preparations for what was going to be the final event. A tremendous amount of work goes into a Relay for Life. It's not quite as big as the Pumpkin Fest, but it has almost as many moving parts. And it takes a lot of people and a lot of support to make it happen. When we began, when we had that first night there, Richard Cruz had just succumbed to cancer after decades of teaching our band students. So we were like, well, should we do this? Should we not do this? But it felt like the right time to do the right thing and to actually do something about cancer and how it's devastated everyone in our community, and it has been touched at some point or another. So kind of the theory behind it is like each one of us can do something. So, and all the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle, from Francis of Assisi. We've had so many candles in our community. Many of you are still active in Relay today. Tina, Kathy, yeah, Ellen, many of you guys are still, Julie, you're still taking my calls, you're still helping us get through all of this. This morning I took the breakfast over to the Romulus DPW. I knew I had it in my notes, and I'm like, where was that? So anyway, told you about that. We have had so many people from the city of Romulus that we have honored at the Romulus Relay for Life in both a slideshow during our ceremony at dusk and also in those lovely luminaria bags throughout the track. So many of the fine citizens of Romulus have been recognized at Romulus Relay for Life. Young, old, cancer doesn't care. This is why I support this cause, among the many causes that this little town with a really big heart supports. We have the Good Fellows that make sure that every kid has a great Christmas. We have lots of organizations that support veterans in our community. And the reason that I support Romulus Relay for Life with everything that I have is because it affects virtually everyone. So kids get cancer too, so do vets. So that's why we throw all of our weight at this, because it's one thing that we can all agree on, that no matter what we disagree on, virtually everyone can agree that cancer sucks, and we can work together and we can support each other on this particular issue. All sorts of people support the Romulus Relay for Life. All sorts of people. We've got kids at Barth Elementary. We've got all kinds of fun guys that come out and do crazy things. So this is a cancer survivor and their caregiver. They were so excited to participate in the Romulus Relay for Life. Dennis Davidson is someone that you're all familiar with, and this goofy guy who allowed his head to be painted in such a manner. But it's a really fun event, and it's a great time for the community to come together. Lots of great organizations throughout the city also have supported Relay for Life. Everyone from the Pastoral Alliance, the Rotary, the Romulus Eagles, even our court judges have come out and stopped by and supported. Most recently, the Honorable Lisa Martin came by and supported Romulus Relays for Life. So we've had tremendous support throughout the years from the different folks. This next slide is something that is a surprise to me today. That's kind of the wind-up from this year's Relay for Life with the dancing person there. But to date, our little town, in the short time that we have been doing Relay for Life, we have raised $252,552 for the American Cancer Society. Unbelievable. I had absolutely no idea it was that big of a number. This year, we're about 75% towards the accomplishment of our goal. So look for a few more fundraisers coming down the pipe. Our fiscal year is January to December. So we have a euchre tournament that is planned for the VFW on October 6th. We're also looking to put together a poker run. And like I said, we've got about another $9,000 to go to meet our goal this year. So we're hoping that you'll be able to support us and get us over that finish line again this year. This money that we raise, it supports 9 different programs that the American Cancer Society provides. We have, obviously, research. We have had, so far to date, 42 Nobel Prize winners from the money that was raised for the American Cancer Society. We also provide support for people who are currently affected by the disease, everything from rides to wigs. Those funds are used locally. So the American Cancer Society and the funds at Relay for Life are very, very important, and they're very impactful in terms of our community. I'll speak more about that at the end. We had a wonderful event this year. We had approximately 6 people who were doing the work of 30, and I am not exaggerating on that. So these guys are getting really good at putting out a Relay for Life. One of our members cooked a survivor brunch for 40 people with no power at her house. Unfortunately, 17 survivors showed up. So the team captains were doing their sites and the raffle tent, their sites and the stage, their sites and the activities, their sites and, well, everything. So it was a challenge. And so I felt a little bad because our turnout was somewhat disappointing, and I felt like they got really dressed up for a great date, and then they got sort of stood up. So that was kind of a drag. That was a bummer. So we kind of started wondering if Relay had maybe run its course in Romulus, and if maybe we needed to cast our net to, get a bigger group of folks, because this is a lot of work. And so we do this. It's not everybody's cup of tea, so I don't know what the scoop is, what the problem is, what it is, but regardless, we were just not seeing the numbers that we have seen in the past, and we're not seeing the numbers that we need to have in order to support these efforts. So really, it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's hard, but it's supposed to be hard. We do this for 24 hours because it's sort of an homage to cancer patients, because they can't just go, I really don't want to do this cancer thing today. So they can't really take a break. So for just one day, we stretch and we push ourselves, and we do this for an entire 24 hours. We did have some fun surprises on the track this year. We had a new team with the Public Service Credit Union. They were absolutely adorable. They represented the state of Hawaii. And then the one with all of the luminaria bags there, that was the very exciting return of Team Romulus, headed by our very own Captain John Theed, who is also a cancer survivor himself. So we've talked about whether or not we need to perhaps cast a wider net and move our relay to either Belleville or Van Buren and see if we can get more people involved and whatnot. I personally am not thrilled about that plan. However, it's really important that to me, it's important to be able to walk around that track and I actually know the people's names who are on those bags. This is my community. This is where I grew up. I know these people. So, but it's also really important to me as a leader to recognize the effort that these folks are putting in and basically make sure that they get the best bang for their buck. And they have spent personal resources, whether it's time, money, all of which they don't have to spare, and they've gone at this 110%, and I appreciate that more than I can tell you. So we're starting to look at what are our options moving forward. They've done everything to put together such a dynamic and meaningful event, and so we just need to. In fact, this year for the first time we had a car show. So the Chevelle Club came out, and they felt so bad because they said the whole idea was for people to vote with their spare change for which was the best car. And they all felt terrible because there wasn't any people there to vote. There wasn't very much stuff. So they were all upset that they did not help us fundraise. Even though they brought their wonderful cars, they made everything look good. They did a great job. It was awesome. So we just fed them the extra survivor brunches that we had. We just fed them. So it worked out just fine. So I did meet with our leadership group. This is a picture of the core folks that keep pushing this thing forward and driving this thing through. I met with them yesterday, and we were looking at different opportunities and trying to figure out what's the best way to proceed. How can we make this grow, and how can we make this a vibrant event here in Romulus? Whether we need to change the venue, do we need to take a year off? Should we just join in a more established relay? Because some of these relays have been around 20, 25 years, 35 years, and we're a baby relay. And see if maybe we should just join another one as a Team Romulus and just, be a big team at another one. So we all agree that that's not really our first choice. That's not our preference. All of us really want to stay here in our hometown, and we'd really like to keep it here in Romulus, and we'd really like to keep it going, but we have to figure out a way to get more participation throughout the community. So what we've come up with is we've decided that we'll set a goal. If in the first quarter of next year, if we have 10 teams that are committed to being on the track and being part of Relay, then we'll give it a shot and keep it here in Romulus. That's if you guys are still on board, because like I said, it's not everybody's cup of tea. And Romulus is involved in lots of different charitable organizations, so I'm not certain if this is a good fit, or I don't know what the issue is. So if you guys are still on board and we can recruit 10 teams total, we have 5 so far, then we'll go ahead and keep it here. So anyway, as I wrap this up, I just wanted to thank you again for your time and your attention tonight and giving me the opportunity to kind of give you a little history of where we were, where we're at, where we're going, and take a moment to remember that cancer touches all of us and that this is a fight worth getting into. Even one of our own council members is battling cancer as we speak. I think I missed one. Yeah, this picture here, this man, Ron Collins, is a man I grew up calling my uncle my whole life. Mary Kling Sloan worked with us for Relay for Life. And if you look closely in that middle picture, the lady sitting right behind her was also one of our Relay leaders. And they both have succumbed to cancer since we started doing this in just the short time that we've been doing it. So some of the folks that have survived cancer that are currently living with cancer, unfortunately, that last name on the list, we're no longer in support of. This was another extraordinary Romulus resident who we lost to cancer, Bill Cron. So, in conclusion, I just want to leave you with the Relay for Life of Romulus motto, and that is, cancer sucks, but fighting back doesn't have to. We need you, and we want you to be with us. So that's it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you.
We're still under the chairperson's report.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Uh,
Yes.
I'm being a little different tonight. Most of y'all know me. I'm going on 20 years as a council person. And I got some notes here that I'm going roundabout. It may not be in order, but I'm trying to get the point across to you. Kind of disappointed. Kind of strange hearing that from me, right? Kind of disappointed. Of what? What you disappointed of? We have a communication gap, in my opinion, between our planning department and the motor city and development. Here's a development that can bring jobs, can put us on the map, and just the presentation will bring our property values up, bring our taxpayer, will get relief. We'll be known throughout not only Michigan, but through the world. I'm going to read something. Normally, I usually, as the mayor pro tem, I usually give kudos to the administration, the departments, for a well job they do. But this project that they bring to Romulus, which I support 100%. Why? Because of the economic value that it brings to the city. A lot of people say, where's the grocery stores? Where's the restaurant? Where's this? Where's that? We have nothing. This program right here, I wish I could blow it up. Motor City, Motown, may I say, will bring these entities to this city. Will bring Motor City, bring these entities. They have the finances. They have the master plan improvement that meets the city. We should be on this like white on rice. But it's so quiet. I'm getting stuff. Oh, we don't have this. We don't have that. Leadership should have this going on, leading out. I'm going to read a letter. Mayor, I hate to put you on the spot, but I got to do this. This is from our mayor. I want to relate and clarify that I am fully supportive of your efforts to manifest this development in our community. You have our complete cooperation, and staff will work fast track to review the process when plans are formally submitted to the city of Romulus. CC, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, other names. City Council never received a CC. Mayor, did you CC anybody? Yes or no answer?
I'll take a look at that.
Did you CC anybody?
John, I don't have any recollection of that.
Okay.
I've always
Okay.
been fully supportive of this project. I've issued numerous letters supporting this project for the last 3 years, so we've always been behind this one.
Okay.
If there was just a gap in communication, I addressed it with staff last week to make sure that everybody was CC'd on all responses, so hopefully that closes that gap.
Right. And Mayor, that's why I want you to take the lead on this. This helps our city. Now, I got people here that have been calling me, and I don't like to be called on the carpet, calling me and said, the mayor's holding up this project. What you doing about the mayor pro tem? I don't like that on me, especially when a program like this magnitude is coming to the city of Romulus. You guys want a grocery store? This is the machine that can get you a grocery store in Romulus. This is the machine that can get you all kind of business in Romulus. I like Northport. Northport's okay, but Northport is empty right now. Northport's empty right now. I go by there and say, whoa, man. I hope they don't have to open up knock the walls out and drive some trucks up in there. I know y'all didn't expect for me to talk like this, did you? But I'm sick and tired. I'm kind of a little tired side. I'm speaking up for the residents of Romulus because they elected me to speak for them. And they've been calling me and saying, what's going on? Because now it's public. Development is public. It's here. We got to move on it. Another thing. I want Carol Mays, Planning Director, give us an update every council meeting of what's going on with this project. Why is this holding up? Let's get the communications together and see what's going up in this communication gap. Because there's a gap. I spoke with my council people. We met, and they like the program because it brings opportunity to the city. It brings tax bases. It makes your property value go up. The residents' property value go up. You talking about tax base? Here it is. And this is the most quiet project in the state of Michigan. It should be the loudest project in the state of Michigan. It should be the loudest. What we have in Romulus, they say. I'm at home cooking collard greens and mashed potatoes, and people calling me telling me you ain't got nothing in Romulus. You got a landing strip. You got a few things. You got a beer joint. You have no grocery stores. So I'm tired of defending. This project got to move. Now, don't move it. Don't blame it on the city of the county of Wayne County, because Carol Mays and them, they were supposed to have met with Morristown City to meet with them before they go to the county. They're supposed to meet with them before they go to the engineering project, but nobody never contacted Motown. Boy, I'm a little different tonight, am I? You know why I'm different tonight? Because 20 years, going on 20 years of city council, I'm sick and tired of our Romulus city being overlooked with big projects coming in here. Like I said, I was going to go over everything. I may be out, see if I can some of my notes because I get emotional. I got the grocery store, about the engineering department, the traffic study. Y'all went over there and did that without even consulting the company that's bringing the thing to the city. Lack of communication. Then I heard something about, can they finance it? Look at people, ooh, wow. I'm glad this is my report because I can talk as long as I want to. some big game players. JLL, $1 billion company. ASM Global, $1 billion company. Sports Illustrated, $1 billion company. Prime Design System, waiting to invest. Here they are right here. Here's the finance right here. And somebody have questions of, do we have the finances, do we have the wherewithal to build this project? Yes, we do. I'm not going to vote for nothing else in the city of Romulus unless this program comes through. I'm going to let y'all know this right now as Mayor Pro Tem of Romulus. If this program do not materialize, Lord help you. Because this is what we've been waiting for. The residents been waiting for this for years. And don't let this go away without having this materialize in the city of Romulus. Y'all thought I was quiet, didn't you? You woke up a giant. Because I see the potential to put this city on the map. We got a world-class airport. Millions of people come through here. Millions. And we so quiet sitting up here. And just, well, they don't have this. They don't have this in yet. They don't have this yet. Work with them, get it in. Get it in. Work with them, get it in. Let me see what else on here. I can't hardly see now. Like I said, Mayor, I want you to, if it's okay, I'd like for you to have Carol Mays at every council meeting giving us an update. I appreciate that, Mayor. I guess that's it now. I guess I said enough. Y'all heard my opinion. A lot of people say I never knew John Barton speak that much. But this opportunity that comes to Romulus once in a lifetime. I want to recognize the councilperson. Ms. Williams would like to speak.
Excuse me, you don't forgot my name.
Ms. Williams.
I was informed about the meeting last week, and I left a funeral from Flint to get here, and I was a little late. Can you hear me now? Okay. I came to the meeting last week. Like I said, I rushed to get here from a funeral all the way in Flint. And when I got here, what was presented was like a dream come true. It's just amazing. It was just amazing to see the presentation of what could happen in Romulus compared to I was at a zoning boards of appeal, and I said this, Mayor, to Carol Mays. We had the judge that had 2.5 acres, but the city requested 4 acres to build a first-class storage. And it went through real quick. And to hear of all the holdups and to see, because I'm not going with what somebody said, I'm looking at this. And after talking with Carol Mays said to me, Mayor, she said, all I need is the mayor, the DPW director, and Kevin Kraus to give me the okay, and I can move forward, take it in front of planning. I said, well, Carol, you can't, as a city employee, appointed employee, you can't blame the mayor. You have a job. So what you do, you tell the mayor that this program is good for the city. I mean, that's your job as a planner. And then inform the council. We've never been informed about this. And I heard someone say it's been going on for a while. This as Mr. Barton said, I'm very, very, very surprised of Martin Luther King's speech here tonight. But this is what our city needs. And like Mr. Barton said, this will bring other things, a grocery store and other amenities that the residents of this city is desiring for years. For years. So whatever we need to do, and I understand the role of the council. The role of the council is the legislative body. We inform the mayor as a body what we would like to see come to our city, and then the mayor put his department heads together and make it happen. And this needs to happen, Mayor. It really do. This needs to happen like anything else that has been pushed through in this city. This needs to come forth. I was so excited about it, I felt like it had already happened. To see Wayne Road prosperous from the presentation that they presented last week, it would be remarkable. We would actually be on the map, because we're not on the map. The only thing about Romulus is that the airport sit in our city, and the landing strip. That's the only thing people know about Romulus. So I'm with Mr. Barton. I'm excited about it. Whatever we need to do, I'm sure we can garner 4 votes. Whatever we need to do, we need to get this project moving. We really do. The residents, Mayor, you will be the man of the year. And I'm not trying to butter you up, I'm just saying, because no mayor before you have ever pushed anything like this forth. You would be the man of the year. Maybe decades. Maybe we can take it a little further. No, I'm serious, because this is what not only we or myself and Mr. Barton and maybe some of the rest of us, but the residents have been yearning for. If this project, an indoor park, a sports arena, a movie theater, think of the tax dollars that can stay here in our city. We can even shine you up, city attorney, and keep you some more years. You know. But seriously, we need this. And I'm with Mr. Barton. We need to do whatever we can to work with them to move this forward, get a shovel in the ground, and let's go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Okay, I'd like to have Councilwoman Talley and then Mr. Wadsworth.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Barton. And I just got to concur with my colleagues. This is a great project. I've seen a lot of these faces several times, a lot of patience in this, and I'm going to say right now, I'm excited that now I can talk about it, you know. This was under NDA for a long time and couldn't be talked about, but now that it's in the site planning stage, we can talk about it. And so talking about it brings excitement to the residents. I mean, when you start talking to these residents about this, they're like, what? Well, all the possibilities that we can have with this, and I think one of the shareholders said it's a no-brainer. And so I know there was concern about different pieces of information, but last week when we had small meetings with the city council, Kim Barswell brought information to me, and we're still going through it, brought information to seal those gaps. So as they're going through the site planning process, I'm sure if there's anything else that have to be done, they'll bring it, but from what I saw from them small meetings last week, Kim brought the information that I think I heard was kind of missing in the process. So thank you for that, Ken, and I want to thank all these people that come out. Y'all come out strong and y'all come out heavy. So thank you for your support. I know this is important for you all, because guess what? You're investors, you want your money. You want the return on your investment. So I get it. So yes, I am in full support of everything. Ken, thanks for the information you brought us last week at the small meetings, and everybody for your support coming out to support this project. The young lady here, it's a no-brainer. So if what we can do to try to support this, move it forward, as our colleague said, you know, we need something like this. We need this for the city of Romulus, for the state of Michigan, for whatever. Talk about, I've always said, Romulus is on the precipice of greatness. What a thing to pull something like this off, to push us over that precipice.
Yes.
Yes, we need this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Talley. Mr. Wadsworth?
Thank you, Mr. Barton. I came last week to the meeting, and the presentation was excellent. There was no ifs and buts about that. But the only thing about it, we did hear about this prior to COVID. Am I correct or not? We got a stack that to take home at first. Well, I still have that stack in my basement. But I think it's a good project. I read all that stuff that we did take home, and I see there's a couple things that still have to be done, and I would encourage you to do what you have to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. Any other comments from council?
John?
Ms. Abdo, Councilwoman Abdo?
Thank you. I would just like to encourage the Motown project to make contact with Shona Civilly, and we can get some more support for Relay for Life with you.
All right. Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
One more thing. I want to speak on behalf of Mayor McCray. I know that he wants what's best for this town, and I don't believe it. He's not in favor of this program.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's, I agree with you 100%. I know he's not in favor of it, but the mayor has to be the quarterback. And if he's the quarterback to make this happen, and I know for a fact that the mayor always said he's for this project, and he speaks very highly of this project. But we can't talk no more. It's got to happen. We're in the fourth quarter. We need a touchdown. Okay, Ms. Roscoe?
You know, I want to thank everyone for coming and for the presentation last week, but I have to stick up for Carol Mays. She was here last week and for the first meeting, and so was the director of the DPW, and they were basically kind of asked why they were here and asked to leave, where there was questions asked that they could have answered for us. Ms. Talley asked some questions that Carol could have answered that night for us. So, on their behalf, Carol does go the extra mile, and I don't think anybody's dragging their feet. I know I've talked to the mayor. He's been on board since everyone's been coming, and I just have to say that, you know, the city does its due diligence. There's guidelines that have to be followed. There's things that have to be buttoned up and done, and I don't think that anyone is trying to stop this project or is not in favor of this project. It just takes time. You've got to be patient, follow what we need to get in, and go from there, and it'll work. You know, there's nowhere to skip the rules, so to say. So we get all our ducks in a row, and then we can get some shovels in the ground.
Okay, then I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Williams, but that's good, Ms. Roscoe. But as you know, interest rates are going up, time is running out. You don't have all that much time on your side. Ms. Roscoe.
I would just like to say, I speak to Carol frequently pertaining to different projects. She never mentioned this one to me. I'm not blaming the mayor, because I like to be clear because people run with whatever they think they understand. I'm not blaming the mayor or Carol. What I'm saying is when a person have a job, they're to do it. So whatever it takes to make that happen, we've asked several times, I would say even as far back as last year, to be informed of what's coming, what's in the making. So we could have been, this was actually my first time meeting any of these individuals. It was my first time hearing about this project. So I don't know how y'all kept it that far and that long for me. I have never heard of it, and I've talked to Carol on a regular basis. So I'm not blaming Carol, and I'm not blaming the mayor, but what I'm saying is when I talked to Carol the very next day, she says all she needs is the go-ahead from the mayor or the Economic Development Director, Kevin Krause, or Roberto, and she will get it in front of the Planning Commission. That's what I'm talking about. Let's at least get it in front of the planning commission. We can't keep saying what a company need to do when the city don't always do what they supposed to do. You know, I'm talking about some of the workers, and I'm talking about some of the appointees that's getting good money. They still trying to figure out their job. And the mayor don't know that some of them are not doing their job until we have a complaint. And so that's why I went to Carol instead of going to the mayor, because if this is in front of Carol and the mayor is not aware of a lot of this holdup, because they never, Mayor, I want to make this clear. It was never said in the meeting that I was in that you were holding it up. It was never said. So I want to make that clear. It was not you. It was a process through the planning, zoning, or that part. So let's get this to the planning department in front of the planning commission so we can move forward. I know it's steps. I know it's a process. But let's get it started. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Are there any other discussion from council? If there's no other discussion from council, that concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to accept your report.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Williams, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Madam Clerk, Deputy Clerk, audience here, everybody here in the audience today. Glad to hear so much passion about our community. Just a couple things before I get into the action items on my report. First, to address the issues we're talking about right now. I don't point fingers at find blame. I solve problems, and we keep things moving. I've been behind this project in writing for the last 4 years, I believe, even as Economic Development Director. So it's not about titles or elections or being man of the year. None of that matters to me. This is something in our community that we'd love to see, and we want to see it move forward. And those who've been around this community for a long time have seen numerous developments similar to this come and go, come and go. We need to make sure that they stay on track and stay in process. That being said, I will take the blame for it. There was a lack of communication. The planning department wasn't aware that they were ready to go before the planning commission. They were still in that negotiating phase. So I met with that team last week, said, where are we at? CC everybody on these and make sure they have the applications in hand and they know how to get on the next planning commission meeting. At that time, they'll present plans to the planning commission and they'll sift through them. Also, we could have been doing reviews through Wayne County because it's going to abut 2 major county roads, and also Eagle because we know there'll be wetland issues there. So we want to make sure we're doing those concurrently through this process. But our team will continue to fast track all the information they have. And I think Jeff's already sent a couple communications out to make sure that we're all on the same page and sharing communications so we all know what deadlines need to be there. I've signed numerous letters supporting this over the years. We went to Lansing for a meeting with a senator that blew a tire, and I used my connections to move us right across the street to another senator who had some juice in Lansing to get some things done. We also brought MEDC to the room. So everybody that's been asked of me to bring to the table, I've been able to do that. We've been able to talk to Wayne County. Well, I'll leave it at that. MEDC, senators have been involved. They know that we're fully supported. They know Romulus would love to see this thing. And we're that close to doing it. I mean, we couldn't discuss this because it was a non-disclosure agreement. So it's been behind the scenes working and trying to get through this process. And here we are now, we're finally able to talk about it and get it through a review process. I think that might have caused a little bit of confusion too with staff and process. When can we talk about it? When can we not talk about it? We don't want to put the city in a situation when we're involved in litigation because we might have said the wrong thing to the wrong person. And that's not uncommon with large economic developments of this scale. It affects real estate sales and numerous different things. We want to make sure that the city was careful and staff did not talk about this ahead of time and put this deal in jeopardy because we'd all love to see this happen. So that being said, still fully supportive of it. There was a lack of communication last week. I think we got that straightened out by sending out emails and over-communicating with everybody. I also put some phone calls into Wayne County last week just to let them know where we're at and make sure they knew this was moving forward. So we're going to continue to support as full as we can and fast track where we can, and as soon as we get process, we'll go there. But we will not circumvent process. We have to make sure it's done right, and we have a quality development here. And I do not have the authority to just tell them to get before the planning commission. They have, you know, I'm going to talk to Carol about what was said there and how that was worded, because she knows that. I can't supersede a board or commission, don't have that kind of authority, but I can work with the administration and have them process and work through process as quick as possible. So hopefully that addresses any concerns of this audience, but to say that the mayor of the city of Romulus is not supportive of that project, or I've been obstructing this, is absolute nonsense. I've been behind it the whole way, and whenever I've asked to deliver, I've been able to deliver on those areas. So we'll continue to move that forward, and hopefully we'll see this thing go here, and we'll enjoy it and have this thing in the future. That being said, I would like to draw your attention to the monitor, where we have Ms. Vanessa Tolliver with some city announcements.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Tolliver, and here are some events happening in Romulus. It's Pumpkin Festival Week in Romulus. The fun will begin on Friday, September 15th, when the festival officially opens at 4 p.m. with the craft and vendor show, food trucks, bingo, and more, leading up to the Romulus Rotary Parade of Lights beginning at 8 p.m. Following the parade, the Pumpkin Pub will be open to connect with friends of old and new, with live entertainment taking place until 12 a.m. Saturday, September 16th, the festival will continue with a jam-packed day of events. The IAFF Local 4126 will get morning started with a pancake breakfast from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Different events and activities for the day will include a car show, bounce houses, bingo, a cornhole tournament, live entertainment, and return of the pumpkin chucking contest. The fun doesn't stop there. On Sunday, September 17th, the day will start off with the 5K walk sponsored by Kroger's and UAB at 9 a.m. Pumpkin painting, outdoor games, a motorcycle parade and show, a pumpkin smashing competition are just a few of the highlights. For a complete calendar of events and information, please go to the Romulus DDA Pumpkin Festival Facebook page, the Community Connection newsletter, or the city website at romulusgov.com. The Fall Citywide Garage Sale will take place September 21st through the 24th. Please contact the City Clerk's office or our website for more information to register. Registration is now taking place for Pee Wee basketball and youth gymnastics. Please contact the Recreation Department to register at 734-941-8665. Thanks everyone, and remember to like and share us on Facebook and YouTube, or visit our website for more information. You have a great night.
Thank you, Vanessa. Great job as always. I have one action item on my report tonight, and that's the fiscal year 2023 encumbrance listing. I would ask that council concur with the recommendation of Maria Ferris, Finance Director, and respectfully request council approval for the fiscal year 2022-2023 encumbrances for capital outlay purchases in various city projects in the amount of $8,453,399.27 to be rolled over into fiscal year 2023-2024 budget and paid accordingly. Again, these were items that were all approved in the budget in process, but for either supply chain issues or staffing issues weren't able to be executed last fiscal year, so we need to roll them over to this fiscal year.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to concur with administration and authorize the fiscal year 2022-2023 encumbrances for capital outlay purchases and various city projects in the amount of $8,453,399.27 to be rolled over into the fiscal year 2023-24 budget and paid accordingly.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for fiscal year 2022-23 encumbrance listings. Any discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, through the chair. Mayor, can I ask the finance director, I see she's here, what's the total budget for the city for the entire year, for the fiscal year?
Good evening, council, mayor, administrative staff, and audience that is present. So to answer your question, are we talking for fiscal year last year or this fiscal year?
You could do both, because I don't have it in front of me, so.
Okay, so for fiscal year 22-23, I can get that number for you. I don't have the budget in front of me. And for fiscal year 23-24, the same, I can get that number for you, of all funds. Would you like it for all funds?
I'm asking you, as a finance director, don't have the total dollar amount. You're asking, this is over $8 million.
Correct.
To be rolled over.
Correct.
So you don't have what the total budget was for last year or this year? You don't have that number?
So these were projects that were adopted.
Yeah, I understand
Okay.
about the projects, but I'm just saying, what was because what is the city's budget for a whole year? Is it like 17, is it more than 17 million?
Well, I mean, in total of all funds, I mean, that's
Yeah, with everything.
approximately $64 million.
Oh, 64,
$67
okay.
million, yes. Those are approximate numbers.
Okay.
General fund is approximately $25 million this year as we adopted it.
Okay.
That's as budget, yes.
Okay, yeah, I just need that number.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
If there's no other further discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, and that will conclude my report for this evening.
Thank you.
Number 6 is the clerk's report. I have one action item, asking council to adopt a resolution establishing an early voting site for the city of Romulus. On November 8th, 2022, Michigan electors overwhelmingly passed Proposal 22-2 to amend the Michigan Constitution that adds a provision whereby electors can vote early for 9 consecutive days, beginning on the second Saturday before the election and ending on the Sunday before the election, for at least 8 hours each day for all statewide and federal elections. The Michigan legislature has passed several election-related laws to assist with the implementation of Proposal 22-2, including Public Act 81 of 2023, which grants authority to the legislative body of local municipalities to establish a polling location and/or early voting site. On September 6, 2023, the Election Commission held a meeting to discuss updates to implementing Proposal 22-2, current legislation, and an early voting site recommendation. The commission unanimously approved the early voting site recommended by the clerk's office, pending state approval that the location complies with Public Act 81. Deputy Clerk Hockenhull contacted Carol Pierce, election security specialist for the Bureau of Election, who affirmed that the location aligns with the requirements and restricted access in Public Act 81. It is recommended that council concur with the recommendation of the Romulus Elections Commission and establish the early voting site for all statewide and federal elections to be held at the old 34th District Court located at 11131 Wayne Road here in Romulus.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
I'm going to move that we pass a resolution that's going to establish a early voting site in the city of Romulus.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for a resolution establishing an early voting site for the city of Romulus. Any discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes. To the clerk, would there be a charge for using that portion of the court?
No.
No? Okay. Thank you.
We just feel that, we've looked at several locations throughout the city, and that is centrally located and accessible for everyone. We have to think about security and, Wi-Fi access, and there's just so many layers to it with the early voting site. So that location made the most sense during this time, at least to get us through the presidential election year.
Okay.
If, we're going to start with one early voting site. We can have multiple, but, this is so new, and the laws continue to change for us, so we wanted to make sure we had stability, and it is required for you all to have to, approve that early voting site.
So what happens, you say you can approve more, so what happens if the city, when it comes down to the city doing something different with that building, you would still try to negotiate to use that building?
We would just have to see, right, the purpose or what the city is going to do. If let's say, we have the early voting site established, we get through the February presidential primary and the August primary election, but then developer comes in and they want to use that site, and so the city has to sell it, or, or lease it out, then what would happen? We'd have to find another location, but there are layers to it because the law requires that we send notices out to all of the voters, not households, every voter. We have to send out new voter registration cards. So every time we establish an early voting site, this cycle, we have to notify everyone. So it can be quite costly, but right now we just got to get through the presidential, 2024, and have a site established. We feel like at this time that this is centrally located and accessible to all voters in the city of Romulus.
Okay, thank you.
John,
Ms. Abdo?
will you be providing signage for that? Because I could see people getting mixed up and going to the old 34. or
All
going
of
to the
that,
new
all of
building.
that's required. All of that signage, public announcements, notices, newsletters. So, but this is the first step that is required by the Public Act 81 that requires us to, so that we can move forward on that. So, thank you.
If there's no other discussion, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes the clerk's report. It takes
you.
us to number 7, the treasurer's report.
Good evening again. Just as a reminder, property tax, personal property tax, and residential personal property are both due on Monday, October 2nd. The regular due date, September 30th, falls on a Saturday, I believe. So the due date will be October 2nd. Of course, if you have any questions, you can call our office. And then also this evening, we had a study session for the investment performance review for the quarter ending June 30th, 2023. I made the announcement earlier, and I just want to make sure those at home that are listening, you can access the report on the Romulus Gov website, and that's on there for review. And this evening, Brian Quinn was the one that presented this report from PFM. He did an excellent job. And I thank you all for being here and listening. And of course, if you have any questions, again, you can call my office at 734-942-7580. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 8 is public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda for those of you who are in the audience. The rules to address City Council can be found on the back of your meeting agenda. To address City Council, raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium, and we ask that you please state your name. Note that members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. Mr. Chair, we have not received any written requests to speak.
Any comments from the audience? Yes, Barry.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Barry Bowman, Romulus. The reason I'm here today is I tried to make it last council meeting, but I couldn't. A couple weeks ago, our governor gave an impromptu press conference at a restaurant in East Lansing outlining her proposals for the next 2 years, or the upcoming year. And one of her proposals that she's trying to push through is clean energy. And I'm not against clean energy, it's just a matter of which he's going about it. One of the hallmarks of our society is that the people have a voice, and local governments have a right to listen to those people, you know, their residents. And I have a copy of the Detroit News, an editorial. I made copies for you if you didn't read it. And it said, state should not trump local decisions on solar. And it said, Michigan has set aggressive targets for clean energy production in the next few years. Diversifying the state's energy portfolio was important, as is decreasing its reliance on fossil fuels. But reaching those targets should not supplement the rights of local communities to make decisions about their land. A proposal being pushed by Democrats in Lansing and outlined by Governor Whitmer in her speech Wednesday will shift the power to approve permits for major solar projects to the state government and away from local officials. Under the guise of climate change urgency, lawmakers want the ability to force cities and towns to accept large-scale solar projects regardless of whether or not their residents want them. And I'm not against solar or the climate change actions, but what I am against is taking our voice away. And whether or not they propose to have any of these things around our area, it's important that we keep our voices intact, that we have that ability. And what they're doing is they're trying to force all these farmers down in Monroe and all around the state to accept these proposals without any guise and turn it over to the state. Now, we have a deep injection well over there because we let the state have control and have the approval process. And we all know if we let the government take an inch, they're going to take a mile. It's going to happen. And if we let this happen without the government's standing up to this, we're going to lose part of our freedom. Let's face it. And, I don't want to sound like a radical, but I mean, it only makes sense. We cannot take the voice of the people away and the voice of you. We elected you for a reason, and we didn't elect you to let Lansing take away our voice. And so I don't know whether you want to pass a resolution or whether you want to just talk to our state senators and reps, but I think you as elected body have got to say something and keep our voice as people intact. So that's basically what I have to say.
John?
And
Yes.
Barry?
Mr. Wadsworth?
Is there a number on this bill or anything?
No,
Okay.
there's nothing on it yet.
Yes, Mayor?
First and foremost, I appreciate you paying attention to that, but we watch those very closely, those House bills that come through, and I don't have that House bill in front of me. And this city council, a few months ago, voted unanimously to come out against a bill that wasn't necessarily against aggregates and how they're mined, but they were against losing that local control. I agree with you 110%. We can't lose local control over these. So we brought it to the city council. We watch it very closely with much more in Harrington to make sure which ones are chiseling away, because like you said, just like the well, look what happens when we lose our local control over an issue. So we came out very strongly against it with unanimous council support. They passed a resolution against it, and we rallied our neighbors. And so far, that's stuck in the House right now. It's not moving anywhere. And that had some pretty big names pushing in support of it. So you're right. There is power in speaking our voice, and we're watching these House bills as well. And we'll make sure we bring it to council for another, I think council would stand united again as far as losing local control over an issue like this, because you never know where they're going to go, and especially look what happened to us with the deep injection well. So,
Yeah, I must have missed it then. Or...
but thank you for watching that. You never know what we didn't catch. So I appreciate you bringing it up.
Okay.
Through the chair,
Yes, sir.
do we have you
Ms.
said you
Talley?
had copies, Barry?
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
copies.
I would like to have a copy. Yeah,
I'll give them to Ellen.
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
John?
We'll get copies for
I
everyone.
just wanted to make a
Yes. Thank
comment.
you.
Barry, I want to thank you as well for coming. This stuff interests me. You're absolutely correct on what you're saying. I'd appreciate if anything else you come across, you share it with us, because we need to know. And like you said, you give an inch and they take a mile, and it's kind of scary stuff if you dig into it. So I appreciate you doing that and making copies of it.
I'm sorry, through the chair one more time.
Yes, go ahead, Mr.
And I just got to say, there's so many different things to keep up with. So yeah, Barry, thank you for bringing that, because it's so many different things. So we all have to work together to be on top of different things and kind of know, everybody kind of, they got their piece of things that they kind of stay informed in. So again, thank you for bringing that to us. And yeah, I need to read that article to see what's going on. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just like to say, and I understand you're speaking on the state level, but the same thing goes for us. We have to be careful when we overlook the desire of the residents as elected officials. It's just not the state. You have local officials that disregard the request and the desires of the residents also. So I'm saying to myself, along to my colleagues, we have to be so very careful. As Mr. Goldman brought that to us, we have to make sure that we're not doing the same thing. Thank you.
Through the chair, just one more comment, and it's not that, I want to be clear that we're not against solar, and the city's not against the aggregate bill. We're against a portion of that bill where they weave in that we lose local authority, local control. A lot of the components of the aggregate bill were good as far as repairing roads faster and cheaper, but that portion of losing local control over where they can set those establishments up, that's the part that we can't allow Michigan to do. Thank you.
John?
Yes, Mr.
Just one more
Wadsworth.
comment. This is why Mr. Bowman served the 4 terms as a councilman, because he was excellent on the 4 terms he was here of always bringing some information to us.
Any other comments from the audience? Mr. West?
Yes, sir. My name is Calvin West, and I think it was a very good presentation that was presented to the council tonight, and I'm all for it, 1,000%. In addition to that, I did have a couple of questions. I don't know if we got the right people here to answer them or not, but what I would like to know is the percentage of vacant properties that they have in the city of Romulus, and the percentage of land that they have in the city of Romulus. And in addition to that, is there any changes with the cannabis with the council? That's it.
Okay, Mayor?
Percentage of vacant property, I'd have to get back to the council on that one. I don't have that number off the top of my head. And as far as I know on the cannabis, the city's opted out, and we're still opted out of that policy.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. West. Mr. Bockwell?
Good evening, honorable city council members and Mr. Mayor and Madam Clerk, Deputy Clerk, and the listening audience that's listening tonight, the residents of the city of Romulus. First of all, I'd like to thank the city council members for meeting with me to hear where the project is in terms of Motown Sports Development Project, and also to lend or show your support tonight to see the level of excitement from the council members tonight. And Mr. Mayor, I recognize you for your support, the letters. Last year, we came into this council chambers with the Chief Operating Officer of ASM Global, the CEO and President of Sports Illustrated. We met with you and your staff, and we presented what I felt a very comprehensive development plan to show that we had a very serious development project. JLL is our project manager, so I'm not going to take a lot of time tonight because JLL, Jones Lane LaSalle, is our project manager and owner's rep for the project. We have come here tonight as a group to just to be able to show our seriousness of moving forward. I know over the years COVID hit, we kind of went down a little bit, but we came back with a vengeance to show that we're still serious about moving forward with this project. We selected the city of Romulus because of the airport, the visibility from the land site, and Ashley Capital has agreed to join us in terms of selling the property to us to develop over there. We have a big sign over there that's facing I-94 and Viney. Has our name and logo and saying that Motown Sports has the land under contract, 401.57 acres. And we're looking forward, some of these guys here, some shareholders. I have about 500 in total shareholders. And we have been doing or working on this project for about 22 years, not just a few years. So we know about patience, and good things take time to happen. I don't have anything bad to say about the city other than we've been filing, we've been asking for time to meet with the planning department, and those things or those dates have been delayed. So the issue is we're not blaming no one here, we're not blaming you, Mr. Mayor, or anyone else, but just to say that we want to move together with the city as a partner. We don't want to be an adversary to making this project a reality. So with that being said, my group here, I think that we have shown the wherewithal as far as the financing. Once we receive site plan approval to move forward, we'll be able to certainly make this a reality, to be able to move toward what we are looking forward to is a groundbreaking ceremony where you, Mr. Mayor, the city council members, the governor, Wayne County executive, all those above will be able to join us and participate. So we thank you. I thank you. I thank the city council members for your passion to supporting us. And there's nothing like it that has been presented to this state in its entirety in terms of benefiting the city of Romulus, bringing 2,700 new jobs, and also being able not only just to make the city the real gateway to the rest of the state, but to be able to do something, because we're not a recreation type development, we're a sports entertainment development resort that is being proposed to come here. So I thank you once again, and good night.
Thank you. Is there any other more comments from the audience? If there's no other comments from the audience, Madam Clerk, we'll close that part out.
Thank you. Number 9 is unfinished business. Number 10, new business. Number 11 for approval is warrant 23-17.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to pay, make a motion that we pay warrant 23-17 in the following amounts. General Fund, $148,641.10. Major Street Fund, $5,631.23. Local Street Fund, $185,036.72. Public Safety Fund, $26,356.83. Cable TV, $23.57. Street Lighting Fund, $54,341.60. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $2,420.87. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $15,088.68. 911 Service Fund, $8,217.50. Library Fund, $15,625.31. DDA, $18,555.68. Tifa District 2, $10,513.35. Water and Sewer Fund, $248,093.22. Motor Vehicle, $44,946.96. Technology Services, $18,828.57. Retiree Insurance Benefit, $64,086.41. Revolving Fund, $1,375. Current tax, $76,443.35. Payroll Fund, $5,848.38. Totaling all funds, $950,054.33.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 23-17 for $950,054.33. In discussion.
Yes, I have a question.
Ms. Williams?
Yeah, I have a question, Mayor, up under check number, 82910, is for family heating and cooling. This address, 31135 and 31133 Goddard Road, where is that located?
That's the DDA buildings downtown, with polka dots and the adjacent store right next to it. That's part of the grant monies the city received to put into our properties down there, so it's put in HVAC, so we get them habitable.
I'm just not used to seeing the address, I was just, thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion from council? If not, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Takes us to number 12, communication.
Through the chair.
Ms. Talley?
Just a couple of quick things. Shout out to our school district. They had a back-to-school event this past Saturday. I was there for a little bit. Brat's Barbecue and Back to School. Just excited about the upcoming school year. So kudos to our team, Dr. Ben Edmondson and his team out there, just doing what they do out for our school district and taking us to the precipice of greatness over in our school district also. So great job with that event. I was going to talk about the Pumpkin Fest, but Jazz did a good job with that, and just want to say real quick, just one thing I do want to say. I want to take one of your words, expressions, Shona Rockstar, Jasmine, Jerry Frayer, Sean Mullins, Chandler, them the only ones I see at the committee meetings have been doing a phenomenal job taking this project on for the Pumpkin Fest, and looking forward to a great 25th anniversary this weekend. I hope people will come out. They have done an amazing job. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts, but everything is moving forward. So I pray people come out and support our Pumpkin Fest this weekend. I do want to shout out to a young lady in our community, Yada Phillips, who does a lot to support our police department. She had an event back in August, appreciation for the Romulus Police and Fire Department. I couldn't attend because I had to work that day, but just want to thank her for her efforts and things she do to support our city, our police. She has a passion for our police, a passion for our fire. I think she added the judges and the appreciation this year, so I just want to give her a shout out for all the work she does in our community. This isn't something she has to do. She takes this on her own, using sponsors. She's gotten sponsors and money she's come out of her own pocket. So I want to shout out for her for this event that she did to support our police, fire, and this year she added judges in as well. And then finally, I'm going to end with this. Shona, thank you for your presentation. You know how passionate I am about Relay. And I just want to say this. I hate that we have to talk about options and what we want to do for Relay for Life, but I'm going to say this. I was there when you first brought it here, and I saw what we did for 2 years. I saw it. It was tremendous. So it ain't like we can't do it. We can do it. We can do it, y'all. 2 years I saw this thing was off the chain. I was like, oh my God, it can be done. We just got to do like we do in Romulus and pull together and make the thing happen. This girl works hard for this Relay for Life. I mean, and like she said, it ain't everybody's cup of tea, but I saw what we did for 2 years. I saw what we did. Those 2 years was strong. So it can be done. We as Romulus, we pull together to support causes, whatever it is. Everybody has a different cause, but we pull together as a city to make things happen, so we can make things happen. So I hope it's not an option that we have to take it to another place. I hope we can keep it here in the city of Romulus, because this is where you're from. You live here, you're a Romulus resident, longtime Romulus resident. So I'm praying that this is something we can keep here. It's your passion. It should be a passion for all of us. We've lost a lot of residents in the city of Romulus to this cancer, and I would hate for us to have to collaborate with somebody or take it somewhere else because we couldn't get what we needed to support, huh? Yeah, just so we couldn't get the support in our city. I know we can do it because that's what we do in Romulus. Thank you, Mr. Barton.
Thank you, Ms. Talley. Ms. Williams?
And as always, Forgotten Harvest tomorrow, start lighting up at 8. We start the line at 10. We shut it down at 12 because we have to be out of the way for the buses. Thank you. Everybody's welcome.
Thank you.
There any more communication? If not, number 13 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by, my glasses. Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.